Welcome to the Magma Classroom. This particular classroom series focuses on the basics of digital painting, starting with the fundamentals of value, shapes, light, and color. We've done a good few apples and spheres already in previous lessons, tried our hands at some more interesting still life studies, broken down simple landscapes, and even run a gauntlet of timed exercises to speed up the learning process. This weekly hangout is intended for the determined beginner, and we'll take our time to explore each subject and learn together. I'm your host Ryan, the resident painter and caffeinated Wookiee at Magma, and while I grab a tea refill here, you can find all the instructions for joining me on the canvas in the description below. Ready your drawing tablet, we'll be getting started shortly. Hello, we are live. Welcome to the Magma Classroom, where we are making learning multiplayer. Oh yeah. All right, so every week we do a kind of a new subject. You know, we've covered the fundamentals. Now each week, twice a week, we're doing 1 hour little study sessions of various kinds of subject matter, right? So those of you who are joining in, watching the live stream, you're welcome to join on the canvas here. I have a bunch of available ones down the bottom in the sequence panel, which you can access by clicking on the little film strip icon over here. All the details are in the description of the stream. So if you haven't already joined the Classroom Artspace, you'll have to do that first, and then you can follow the link to the canvas. Just a little note. Yeah, we might use the recording of the stream, your images, as part of some of our marketing stuff. We're going to put up a blog so we showcase what everyone's doing, show some of the progress, and yeah, just show the variations of stuff that people get. And we might use the recordings as well for like promoting more of these events. So yeah, just something to be aware of. Hey Everest, I see you've joined us there. What else? Also, just, you know, we take images from all over. They're purely for the purpose of study, not for any sort of like commercial thing. No selling these images. They're just for studying. We're here to sharpen our skills, all right? And don't worry if you don't get a perfect drawing in the time, perfect painting. That's not the point of this. The point is to push your skills, try something new, and yeah, let's see what we can do in an hour. Of course, you're welcome to spend a bit more time if you want to. I tend to end the stream at the end of the hour, and yeah, sometimes people stick around and they carry on drawing, get a more refined result, or they'll experiment with something else, try like a new approach. So we're going to be focusing more on the top image over here that's got this interesting little liquid on it. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. So I'm going to do this on a new layer because I keep making the mistake of drawing on the same layer because I've got into a habit of being a one layer kind of guy. So what do we notice with this? So I always like to break it down first. You know, if you're a bit more experienced with things, you're welcome to just dive in. But for those who are new, we'll just run through a bit of the process, some of the things I'm thinking about and looking at, you know, as I assess the image and how I progress through it. So we've got some pretty basic shapes that we're working with. This almost looks like a wheel from this angle, right? So if I zoom up, whoops. Hey, why is that? Go. Ah! My tablet settings are blocking my view. Go away. Why are you here? Yeah. Misbehavior. Okay, so we've got this sort of wheel shape. Okay, so 2 ellipses there that we're going to be working with. Because things that go inside, this is quite interesting. Like how we're going to fill that in later is going to be interesting. We'll probably have to work our way from dark to light and get this really nice glowy sort of peach color that's coming through. And let's see, we've got those 2 shapes. If we break it down, we've got 2 ellipses and a cylinder, pretty much. Go a little wider at the bottom, narrows it in over there, partly because of shape, partly because of perspective. And then we've got a lot of these interesting little liquid spots. And they look like droplets of some other liquid oozing out of there. And I'll show you how I go about approaching these in a little bit. But what we can notice here, because the light source is coming from the top right, or the top left. I mean, right as in, you know what I mean? So the light is also going to be landing on these droplets. If we look closely, we've got, sure, the light is hitting here, but this, without the highlights, this section is actually a bit darker, but the light is being caught on the bottom end. So this section is lighter, this section is darker, but then there's the highlight on top of that. So that's going to be the typical approach with doing droplets like this. Here we can even see some of that light passing all the way outside, like pushing out of the droplet onto the main surface. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of that. Same over here, just on that edge. It's just the kind of like bottom edge where it's all that light sort of like refracting in, catching that furthest edge. So that's something to pay attention to. In terms of values, of course, the log is very dark. We can see that very obviously our assumption about the lighting direction is correct. And we can also see this roundness on the wheel, this wheel shape. Okay. And yeah, so that's the basics of it. So this area stands out quite a bit because of how dark this section is here. And then contrasted by quite light. Same over here, this nice dark bit in the background really brings some attention to this part of the mushroom. That sort of edge, it's quite noticeable because of that sharp contrast. So little things to pay attention to. Let's dive in. Just making sure I didn't leave anything out. These little bits, I would suggest these little fan type of, I don't know, what would you call these? They're like scaly type of things. These are something you'd add in much later. I feel you will first want to get like the color of things right. The same on here, this texture, this like netted, it's a netted something or other, this fungi. But that netted texture is something you kind of want to add in later. You want to get the tone and the volume, the shape of it all right first, and the shifting colors, and then you can add all of this stuff on top of that afterwards. So, okay, I will hold off on talking. I'm going to play just some chill piano music. It gets a bit, I don't know, I find I don't mind listening to this for an hour because it's quite chilled, and I'll keep it quite soft in case you want to listen to something else on your own side, in your some of your own music. So I want this to compete. If you have any questions, you're welcome to use the chat function on Canvas. This will spread across all of these. Hey, Abra, I'll see you there as well. Welcome. Or you can use the stream chat. Let's dive in. Hopefully everything goes smoothly this time. I had some technical issues before. I have also enabled Blaze for our classroom participants. So if you want to be testing out some of our other brushes, then you're welcome to do that. I'll probably keep it active for about 2 hours after the stream ends. So if you want to stick around and keep working, that's fine. You'll still have access. Righty-ho, enough chatter, Ryan. Let's paint. Also, do not well, try not to. I don't want to like restrict you too much, but I will encourage you not to use not to color pick from the background. Try and find the colors. I know I'd say this every time, but trying to find the colors on the color wheel. I'm going to start just by dropping in a bit of a green background. Fancy here, just to have a little something in. Well, that piano is actually very soft. Let's go a little touch higher, There we go. So that I can also hear it. It's pretty much a square composition. It's got a little bit darker in here. A little bit difficult to see what's going on in terms of color temperature. I'm going to just get down in values. I'm going to shift towards the blues. Just let's see. Why is that? Let's get some variety in there. Got a bit of a brighter green there too, which is towards yellow. Just lightly, just a touch. We've obviously got our log as well. So I'm trying to get these big shapes in first before even getting to the mushroom. It's easy to dive right into things, but let's get the main shapes in first. This is a bit of a warm but desaturated dark brown, or warm on the bottom end. Go with that. Also, shout out to Abral for suggesting mushrooms. Good call there. I think it's going to be quite fun. Some really awesome stuff. Okay, it's lighter, less saturated, but it shifts towards. I do. It's, I get to be the clubhouse dictator, the theme dictator for the clubhouse. Yeah, it's nice to give someone else a chance in the classroom stuff. Let's go this way. But I like it as well that someone else suggesting a study topic, because I don't know what to expect, and I'm probably going to get thrown in the deep end with trying to figure it out. Paint something I've never painted mushrooms before. What the heck? So, but this is great. It forces me to be challenged. Okay, we'll just work with this. This can looks good. We're a little great at the top. I'll make some of these edges a little harder later on. It's really a priority right now. But I'm going to have to fix with things later. Sort of squinting, looking at basic shapes. The reason I do all of this first before doing the mushroom is because this all sits behind the mushroom for the most part. And if you make changes to things, bigger areas, you don't want to be doing that too late in the process. You have to get that out of the way first, because it can be a nuisance to work around the main shape later on. But if you have this in a separate layer, that makes things easier. So just checking those comment here. Now, how do I say this name? Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the Cyrillic characters. I cannot read your comment. I wonder if there's going to be an auto translator here. But if you want to join, You can find all the details in the stream description. Okay, now I'm going to sketch out. Let's go a bit smaller. Just get the shapes in. So quite a bit. Okay, let's keep. These ellipses. So I'm going to start with the outer one, which this could actually cut back a bit, I think. Later, because this comes down. Catch up here. Inner part of the wheel. And we have the outer. Goes up slightly wider. I don't want to look at this sketch ellipse here. I'm going to just embarrass myself. The second image is there if, some people work quite a bit faster than others. So if you want to push a little further, then, we have something slightly more complex, or a second image to take. Okay, this will do, just to have the basic shape. These lines and things will come later. So could have come back, I think. Very strategic. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I layer underneath this. I'm going to get this creamy white, yellowish something. I don't have a favorite dish, a particular mushroom that I enjoy. I do enjoy them, but I don't have any particular favorites. How about you? So I'm looking for this peachy color. I don't want to get too saturated rather than that. Check this code. I can't copy it. I eat everything, man. Nothing's really. I suppose when it comes to mushrooms, I enjoy them with the omelette more than. I used to really not like mushrooms. As a child, I thought they were. Ugh. But as with all things, all it takes is putting it on a pizza for the perspective to change. So now when I think a little bit about form, dark hair. Which I want to assess here. What's going on with the colors? Going here, it's still quite well. Shift. Is this indeed getting cooler? Yeah, it feels that way. So we want to go a bit warm. So maybe a bit more saturated. So it's like light is passing through. So it's got more glow going on. Shadow on there. Top there. Quite possibly. I think the second image is quite heavily filtered. It looks like they've really pushed the cool to the cooler range to bump up the pickiness of it. Because when I first saw that, I'm like, I don't even trust this image. Like, is it for real? I mean, there's so many whack, amazing, beautiful, bizarre things out there in the real world that sometimes you're just not sure. I have to go and like do all this extra research just to make sure that this is not some Photoshop trickery or AI trickery or I know that what I'm drawing is for reals. For reals. No, for sure, but I mean that's play around with false stuff. That leads to that absolutely. Push the colors around. Next thing you're on Namek. So, people get that reference. Smart, yes, indeed. Okay. Light behind. Huge. Good. It's cold. I could probably get rid of my sketch layer in a moment. And then this, what are we saying? It was shifting towards warm. Much of a shift. So it's really just a change in value. I actually think it is warmer if I look at my eyes. Suggesting it's good. Let's get this sketch layer. Cool. Now I need to get my shapes a bit better. Harder edge. It's quite soft. As well, maybe not so dark. Is my internet's behaving today? Like Friday? Had some issues. Desaturate here. Okay, that was excessive. Let's go back a bit. Probably come back in a little. A whole lot of back and forth. Work one area, you're like, oh, that doesn't quite look right. Change that. That's it. Not worrying about the texture. Let's do this. That's on the exterior texture. Let's try this. Very bad today, Ryan. It's gonna take me a little while, I think. Hey Nexus, welcome to the canvas. Or to the classroom rather. Briefly on the canvas and then to your own. Yeah, maybe. Let's shift it a bit cooler. Lighter. Maybe even lighter than that, I think. Nice. Our usual gang of misfits. If you are just tuning in, I see a couple of viewers. Not sure who's watching and who's not on canvas. But if you want to join in, try your hand. Check the stream description. All the details are there. And push some pixels around. I could always add some extra canvases. We've got 2 open ones here so far. We have half an hour left of the stream, but you can as you like. Stop when I stop the stream. A lot of very gentle. Can be a bit lighter. eyebrow Speedy Gonzalez over there. Some solid progress. It's cool being able to just see the thumbnails. Just see how everyone's doing. Let's oops. Quite saturated because it's keep that low. Oh, cool. More walls to paint. I miss doing the odd wall. It's been so long. I'm doing it, Mom. Oh, that's very cool, man. Yeah, it's a very different approach. You've got to paint on a wall. You think about scale, things that when you draw things on a page, cool, no, that looks nice and detailed. But then when you shift over onto a wall, oh wow, there's this is definitely missing some stuff. Nice. Let's get a bit of no, darker, saturated. Yeah, it smells right. Like scale. You can always try the doodle grid approach if you are concerned about the scale. You put down some doodles first. The method. Very light here. Just down a little bit. Oh, I'm sitting like such a hunchback. Like a cartoon of an artist. This, I think, shroom check, indeed. I've been so bad about doing some proper exercise and doing my usual yoga just to counteract sitting at the desk so much. And I did it for the first time in a long while yesterday. I am feeling it. My back and my butt. It's just worked out. It was so good though. It felt so nice. Gotta accept that I'm not getting any younger. You actually have to stretch. I have been fantasizing about a standing desk setup though. Something where I can have like a larger display tablet set in the same way as like like a normal canvas on an easel, right? It's upright ahead of you, and just like kind of move around while you got the music going and attack the canvas at a nice level. Yes, this is definitely the. Yeah, I saw someone a while back. Uh, he had one of. It wasn't the latest Wacom 27-inch. It was an older model, big, and it was set on. I don't know if it was a best mount or something custom made to deal with the weight and mobility a bit better. But yeah, he would set it vertical, but just like as though it were a traditional canvas on easel. He'd work like that, which I thought was a very interesting approach. I quite like it. Quite like it. Okay, a little bit more. I don't know. I think if you have, so long as you have good initial activation on your pen, and I mean, you're not going to be resting your wrist against the thing. I think if you work with your pen the same way that you would with a paintbrush or a piece of charcoal, where you're holding a little bit further towards the back, and a much looser tactic. I mean, not to do everything like that. Probably need a bit more precision for hitting the UI elements. Yeah, what do they set it to? I had a really nice architectural drawing table in my previous studio. Unfortunately, I had to part ways with it. Went to some friends of mine though, so that's good. Yeah, just quite specified. Not get distracted by that. I should be focusing on my painting. That's how you always get so far ahead, distracting the rest of us. Very good, very good. We had a lecturer for art history, and he was so easy to derail. He always had a lot to say on sort of old, well pre-Renaissance sort of Christian iconography and artwork related to that, various religious artworks. And so if we ever wanted to just steer him off the topic at hand, just ask him a question about how this related to this or that particular piece. I feel like the shroud that he had written some paper focused on that quite a bit. You can always just derail him with it. Tell us more about that, sir. Gave up my surfing session for this, just our teacher get derailed. Let's get this one. Okay. Let's put in this part. I haven't got this here. It's fencing. And we still have to do the this should be Still have to do the drops. That's the other key thing that needs to be done. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how using a display tablet like that would work and how the pen handles it, how the wrist handles it. Because I'm still pretty convinced that with the decent initial activation rate on vacuum devices, that it'd be fine. I think it would work. It's only one way to find out. But I generally prefer a screenless tablet like I've got now. It's just better generally better for my posture if I'm paying attention. Ooh. Hopefully I don't fall through the wooden floor. That would bump up the views on our streams. Artist falls through studio floor. No, there's a portal to the Spider-Verse. Who knows? Yeah, the underside of mushrooms is where it's at. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of bubble tea. I think I tried it in Malaysia and I was a bit underwhelmed. Didn't vibe with it. I'll just stick to coffee. I saw someone's status. No, it was a tweet. After watching the Spider-Verse. I have things to say and I need a bubble tea. I think that was their comment. Before they went on to their long thing about Across the Spider-Verse. I'm stoked that I do not have to wait a full year for the next movie. I have no idea what flavor I tried. No idea. It's a couple of years ago. I just didn't pay much attention. Maybe I'll have to try it again sometime. Okay, now let's get into these little... yeah, see, I haven't done this well. This needs to be darker. First impressions matter, man. What's a recommended flavor of bubble tea? Because see, like I'd never come across it. And I didn't know what to try. So maybe it's just a thing of I tried the wrong thing. Wrong thing, whatever. You know, whatever thing didn't quite suit my taste buds. I would generally with tea, I'm not wild about fruity flavors. I tend to go with more of a milky thing, or like a I suppose like something more herby is fine, but like floral and fruit teas don't really tickle me. Like here, I've noticed a bunch of teas that have hibiscus flower in them. Why? I don't know. I don't want that. Love the look of the flower. Not wild about it in tea. The other thing to notice with this thing is that the edges are not super smooth. There's little bumps. It's a bit of a pattern in here. It's not the smoothest edge. So I'm still missing edge. Yeah, tarot. I am familiar with it. Yeah, give me green tea. Green tea does usually need something like lemongrass or mint or something with it, just to knock out the bitterness a little bit. But like black tea as well, don't mind. South Africa, we have rooibos, lekker rooibos. That's good stuff. Nice red bush tea. I like purple carrots. I don't think I've tried a purple carrot yet. But purple potato, it's probably enough. Like purple sweet potato. Purple exterior sweet potato. Welcome to the classroom where we paint mushrooms and talk about potatoes. Good times. This is Archer. Crosses boundaries. Oh, how much time do we have? 10 minutes? What? I have not done enough. Okay, let's dive into these. Let's dive into these drops. What's up with this edge? Saturated. Red. Yes. Okay. So let's get a closer look here. So we got these little yellow dots, and we'll just lay it down, do a new layer. Could have brought this in a little bit more. So we've got this really light orangey yellow. Let's go a bit more yellow than that. Lighter than that. Go here. Let's see. I'm doing all this with a square brush as well because I'm a sucker for punishment. But if we focus on this one here, let's start with that. I'm just going to drop in a little circle. It's quite big. But then we have, it shifts towards a bit of a brown. And that's on this top side. That's a bit darker. I've gone a bit too much there. Let's get back a bit. Because still getting, like I said, yellowness, but there's still the light. Still light underneath here. Let's go lighter, a bit desaturated. Go a bit more yellow, I think. There's a bit of orange in here. That in. It varies a little bit. We do have a little bit of teeny tiny bit of shadow there. What I want here is yellow. I have some brighter highlights on here. Let's have a look. Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration. There's a lot. It's a bit hectic. Yes, but that's kind of the basic idea with drops. You have a bit of that color that's here, reflecting in, darkens that top edge. So it kind of behaves like a bit of the inverse of when light hits a sphere. When it hits a droplet, the light passes through it. So that's why you get that much lighter bottom edge. And then some of that's reflecting out. But now I'm definitely exaggerating a bit. Okay. It makes such a difference. It looks so cool when you give it that sort of like wet, glistening look. Let's add a few more. But you do have to pay attention as well, because it's not like a cylindrical form. The values are shifting. Like overall, these drops are darker on the other side. If you look at this one, let's zoom in a little bit. This one's catching a bit of that red. Check how the reflection is in this one here. Definitely got the underside of the mushroom there. Here, definitely much redder there as well. So you want to pay attention to those things as it shifts around. Here, the light's more on the outer edge. It's got more to do with the angle that we're looking at things. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I wonder if it's an element of the, something like some water droplets, add another layer to a bit of the story, or a fresh sort of characteristic. It's like, okay, well now it's not just an artichoke. It's a wet artichoke. It's just been picked out of the garden, morning dew on it, or something. Is maybe just a little bit more to. Oops, why did that happen? Yes, shiny. Give me the shiny thing. I like that. More shiny things. Let's go a bit darker here. So we're coming close on the hour. Wow, I really didn't make the kind of progress I wanted to on this today. But that's all right. That's all right. Forces me to stop and then think about what I've done. How could I have done this better? I think what we'll do in Thursday's session is tackle these pink ones. Or well, pick one of the other ones that eyebrow lessons. We'll probably be sleeping that day. See, you've tackled them already. Piece. So maybe I might choose it. Yeah, I want to keep to the mushrooms for Thursday session. Just for those who can't make it to the Monday one, but might still be interested in the topic. So I think it's cool to do both sessions in a week, same topic, and then we'll switch over to something else the next week. We'll revisit landscapes again soon. So I suppose we've been doing some elements of landscapes, some rocks and some mushrooms and all that. The pitcher plant. You're talking about that one from Borneo. With that like sweet something in it in the picture. Oops. Drosera capensis. Oh, interesting. Cape Sundew. Ah, from South Africa. Native to the Cape. Yeah, interesting. Oops. I'm not happy with this result. I think I'm going to paint a little longer. Oops. So we have pretty much reached the end of the stream. But yeah, I'm going to keep going for a little while longer, maybe another 15 minutes or so. I want to neaten up some of my edges because I'm not happy with them. Time to turn off the density to pressure so that I can get neater edges. Oops. Unthinkable undo. How dare I? How dare I? I don't normally do that. What tablet are you guys using to draw on? Are you guys using display tablets, iPads, screenless? What's your jam? What's your jam? Doing these shapes in first, and then I'll add in all the little deets. That was a nice one there. Big ol' Huion. Which Huion are you using? Canvas 20. Nice. Nice big screen. Yeah, I haven't tested their displays yet. I tested my first Huion product only recently. The Giano, Inspire Giano. Jolly nice tablet. Bring this up a bit. But I've heard good things about their newer displays of theirs as well. Nice. It's a white ball. Yeah, the other brands, especially recently, that from what I can tell, the quality gap is definitely closing a bit. Which is good. I think it's good that Wacom's got a competition now. Also from the likes of Sense Labs. Competition's healthy. Push some innovation. But I'm still very fond of the old Wacom screenless tablets. It's like the Intuos 3, for example. Absolute tank. Just keeps going. Was that your first Intuos? Nice. Was that your first tablet or just the first Intuos that you handled? Tiny silver one. Okay, okay. Maybe one of the bamboos or a graphite, perhaps? Ah, snuck into school. I've got my first one here. Ah. Yeah, this is mine. Your Graphire. What is this? Graphire 3 CTE 430. 4 by 5 inches. Really tiny. I started with that a little while. Yeah, ancient little guy. So I want to do a video sometime soon painting with this again when I don't have other more pressing videos that need doing. I thought it'd be fun to revisit the first tablet that I started digital art with. It still works. Still works. Just not the most comfortable use. That size is a bit. It's something. Nice. I've got the 2S Pro medium in my drawer here. It's a really, very, very nice. And I've got the first generation in 2Os. First one with these like pale creamish gray. Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised by it because that thing was released in is it 93? I forget the years. It was 93 or 97. Could be 97. And it's got tilt, really responsive tilt. Only at like 1,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, but still I felt like the pen responded surprisingly better than one or two other tablets I had tested, which were a bit newer, like from the competitors and stuff, especially on this thing of tilt. One that's got a serial connector. The other one's USB. I couldn't get the serial one working because who's got a serial port these days? Yeah, agreed. I think it doesn't really matter at that point. So long as you've got good initial activation on your pen, that's the important thing right there, because then you'll feel those pressure levels much better. And that's where I think, oh, we have another party member. Can't see who that is. I'm going to hop over and say hi. Who we got here? Meow for money. Welcome to the classroom. You're catching us at the end of the stream, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You may keep drawing, no problems. This here. Yeah. So probably do a bit of gentle definition in the log here. Yeah, and that tablet still had a plastic sheet on top of it, where you could lift it and slide or like a drawing underneath, and then you could trace over it. This is before I think scanners and stuff were as big of a thing, or at least in terms of the resolution. Yeah, I was just like, what is this? What is it for? Why? I figured, oh, well, if you think about like draftsmen, like architects or animators, especially animators, and you've got to draw pretty much the same thing over and over again, and with slight variations, just be able to stick that under, trace, next frame. Yeah, it probably saves a lot of time. Okay, I don't feel horrible about my result here. Could have done more. These droplets could be bigger than what I've done them. So it could be bigger too. Anything can I Yep. Yeah. At least with those ones with their plastic sheet on top, we didn't have to worry about it scratching the surface, but they're pretty durable. So long as the resolution, the dimensions of it sort of match the screen well enough, you could force the proportions. But this tablet was from obviously the days of CRT monitors, with more square format. And the tablet is squared, so 12 by 12 inches. And it was passed down to me when I thought with this tablet that I'd lost my pen, which like slots in the top here quite nicely. I thought I'd lost it. I was searching everywhere. I had a project to finish. I was freaking out a bit. And okay, my first big commission, and then my pen goes missing. It's like, oh man, okay. So let me ask around. Put something out on Facebook, and then a friend who's a lecturer at the university is like, hey, you can use this. Passed on two of these old tablets to me. Okay, well that's interesting. Turns out the pen was at the back of my chair. The cushions sort of come in. The pen had fallen there and kind of shifted into the between the cushions. Classic move. So yeah, I felt like a bit of a chump. And I think I had already ordered a new tablet by that point as well. Then I shifted to XP pen. Yeah. Oh well. These things happen. I'm glad I still have it and it works. And for the longest time, I didn't realize that it did have pressure sensitivity, but there was some sort of weird thing going on with my drivers, and the sensitivity wasn't picking up. I was like, I could have sworn when I first tested this out that it had it, and I couldn't get it working. So I was having to manually adjust my size and my opacity all the time. But it was fine. I was learning, so I guess it's fine if I've got to learn the hard way. And then I had an issue with my XP Pen tablet about a year after using it. I think I dropped my pen for it, and it just landed funny on the ground, and it was registering full pressure while hovering. It's like, oh, damn it. Order a new pen, and while I wait, I've still got to do my work. So I went back to my first tablet here, installed the drivers, and then suddenly the pressure worked. Like, what is going on? Like this, I was so amped about the new tablet. It was like, yes, I can finally feel like a bit of a pro with my pressure sensitivity. Meanwhile, this little thing had it all the whole time. Only 512 levels of pressure sensitivity, I think. But yeah, no. I was sort of like, I worry so much about these pens falling because they can be quite fragile. And I've seen it happen to a number of people on Reddit. Like, so I dropped my pen and it's doing this. What can I do? Nothing, bro. Buy a new pen. It's unfortunate. I've dropped my Apple Pencil a number of times, and I'm always like, deep breath. Let's test it out. But thankfully, it still all works fine. Okay, so I said I was going to stay for another 15 minutes. I've just hit that 15-minute mark. It's probably time for me to get back to some other. Yeah, I've seen some people talk about putting it apart and then like tightening a little screw that's in there. That sometimes gets a bit loose. That fix didn't work for me. It's like one video on YouTube with the guy addressing that problem, unscrewing a little bit and tightening. I think there's a screw towards the front of it here. Okay, here. Oops, that was the wrong. Right now, I'm testing out a UG or Yugi, not quite sure on the pronunciation. My first of their tablets that I'm testing out. It's a beginner tablet, nothing fancy. It works well. Okay. You think you forgot about the mushroom nexus? You're just getting caught up in the background there. Ooh, wow, that wood looks fantastic though. Good job. Damn. I really like that. Yeah, you always get that variation of color down so well. Now I want to work more on this, of my wood texture. Damn it! I do have to go and do some work though. I won't say unfortunately because it's good work, and it is work. It is paying work. Alrighty. I'm going to stop there for now. Maybe I'll jump back in a little later. At least you guys have the mushroom. Well, if you got nothing planned, Nexus, you can still drop that in there. Okay, thanks guys. So this was good fun. On Wednesday, your log is free of life-threatening toxins. Yeah. Wednesday we will be doing Clubhouse. Theme to be confirmed, because the thing I thought we might do last week, we might do this week, and there's just some things we have to check out first before I can confirm that. But one way or another, we'll be pushing pixels on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we'll be doing another mushroom study. And yeah, that's all from me. So thank you very much, guys. Always good chatting and painting with you. And I will see you again soon. Happy days. Enjoy the rest of your week. If I can find my outro. It happens every time. Goodbye.